Hello everyone and welcome back. And today I thought I would go back to the whole Lucy versus Carnage death battle and do a prediction video. Now, you all know how I feel about this death battle. I still don't like it. I still think it's a bad matchup. However, I am still willing to look at this death battle objectively and fairly, just like any other death battle, and I'm willing to give Screw Attack the benefit of the doubt. So this isn't necessarily going to be a review of the death battle. I'm going to look at the death battle based on the research I've been doing and give you my thoughts on who I believe will be victorious. Now, before I begin this video, I want to say I was surprised and happy to see the reception of my Lucy versus Carnage rant. It has received over 1,000 views. And rather you agree with me or not, it puts a smile on my face that people took the time to actually sit down and watch my video. I never even expected it to get that far. So thank you for everyone who watched that video, and hopefully this one the people will also sit down and enjoy. So with that being said, let's get started on my prediction for Lucy versus Carnage. So, Lucy versus Carnage. Who do I think is going to win? And I firmly believe that Lucy will win this death battle. I'm aware that a lot of people are putting their money on Carnage because either A, he's the more popular character and they don't know who Lucy is, or they don't know how powerful she is, and others are going with him because of things like his overpowered healing factor or certain feats like being launched into space. Now, I'm going to definitely talk about both of these characters, but I'm mostly going to focus on Lucy here since one, she's the one I'm picking, and two, with Carnage being the more popular and well-known character, I feel that most people are probably familiar with his abilities and feats, so I don't think it will matter too much if I go in depth on Carnage or not. I'll still talk about him, certain feats, weaknesses, whatever. However, I just feel that focusing on Lucy, at least in this case, especially considering that she's my pick to win, will definitely save us a lot of time. So, with that being said, where to begin? I would say let's start with her powers. Lucy is an extremely powerful telekinetic being with many, many abilities ranging from enhanced senses, telekinesis, durability negation, explosion, radiation, and disease manipulation, and a healing factor which led to her being able to regenerate her own arm, and a healing ability where she used her powers to heal the bullet wounds of her boyfriend that was shot. And she has many abilities which I will put on the screen for you now if you wish to read. Now, her telekinetic abilities are unlike anything that we have seen before. She fights using vectors, invisible hands that are impossible to see with the naked eye and are only ever viewable by other Diclonius. Now, these vectors can do a variety of different things, such as block bullets, lift large objects. She once lifted something as large as a ship and casually threw it at a guy, can lift gravestones, rip a human head off with no effort, and cut through the human body like it's butter. And her vectors also generate neutrons, which she can use to cause explosions, hence the explosion manipulation. And it has many other properties. Now, these vectors do have a limited amount of range, and while Lucy, when she started out, only had 4 vectors that could reach only 2 meters long. Later on, she ends up gaining over 20 vectors, and these vectors were able to range up to 2 kilometers. So they are pretty powerful. She once used these vectors to drill a hole into an island, cause a 30-meter explosion, and sink the entire thing, also causing a tidal wave from the shock wave in the process. Other feats that Lucius pulled off includes killing Anna, who was an omniscient being, so that was made through many experimentations to the point where she can calculate probability to a level to where she was called the Oracle and can see and predict everything, and Lucy managed to kill her. So Lucy is by no means a pushover. I know a lot of people talk about how powerful Carnage is, and yes, he is powerful, but so too is Lucy. And the reasons I believe Lucy is going to win is because Lucy's vectors give her both offensive and defensive options, as well as the long range advantage. She can use her vectors to fly as well. So for me, I don't see how Carnage is going to be able to defeat her, because Carnage is primarily a close-range fighter. And up against Lucy, I don't see how he's going to be able to get close enough to perform any kind of killing blow to her, because, as I've said before, she has over 20 vectors. They range over 2 kilometers long. And anytime Carnage would even attempt to get close enough to her, she would just rip him apart or hold him down. Here's the way I see things. Lucy has over 20 vectors. Carnage has only 4 limbs. Now, if I were to handcuff your arms and legs, stand 2 kilometers away, and tell you to come up and kill me, would you be able to do it? No, probably not. And the way I see it is every attempt that Carnage is going to make to get close to Lucy is going to be a failure. She will just simply rip him apart every single time, or just restrain him down and hold him so he won't be able to do anything. And another thing with Carnage is he's not intelligent. Lucy definitely holds the intelligence advantage, and my research that I did revealed that Carnage's insanity is described as his greatest weakness, not a strength like some people believe, as well as his other weakness to fire. Now, it is worth noting, originally symbiotes like Venom do have a weakness to sonic sounds, but apparently in some comic, Carnage found a way to gain an immunity to the sonic weakness, which, okay, I'll give them that. But here's another thing. The weakness to fire. Here's the way I see it. Since Lucy can cause explosions with her vectors, all she'll do is hold Carnage down, keep causing explosions through her vectors, thus having the fire burn off the symbiote suit, rendering it useless. And then once it's just the human form of Venom left, she's just going to rip him apart. And once again, Lucy her vectors, offensive, defensive capabilities, long range advantage. I don't see a way in which Carnage would be able to defeat Lucy. Even if Carnage did try some long-range attack, she can use her vectors to either block and or dodge it. As I said, she's used her vectors to not only fly, but throw herself large distances. and regularly fights long-range beings because nobody ever fights Lucy at close range because she's impossible to fight at close range. Anytime somebody has ever confronted Lucy, it has either been through another Diclonius or people armed with guns and explosions. And with that being said, I don't see how Carnage is going to be able to win this one. Sure, he has a powerful healing factor, but how far is that healing factor going to get you if you can't even get close enough to your opponent without getting thrown around, ripped apart, or held down by one of Lucy's many vectors? And as I've said, there was a point in the manga where she caused a explosion that ranged from 30 meters. So, again, going back to the whole explosion manipulation, I believe that will be the point where the fight turns in Lucy's favor. She simply holds him down or holds him up in the air with her vectors, constantly blows him up until the symbiote suit is gone, and then tears him apart. Game over. So I just I firmly believe that Lucy will win this death battle. Now, people have told me that, well, Carnage has survived an explosion that was able to kill or meant to kill all of humanity, and he was thrown up into space. Now, yes, those are points in Carnage's favor. However, it does strictly state that Carnage still maintains a weakness to fire, and I really don't see that with Lucy having explosion and radiation manipulation, I don't see why Lucy wouldn't be able to take advantage of that. So, with all this being said, I firmly believe that Lucy is going to take this victory. Carnage may be able to put up a good fight, but as far as I see things, he's not going to be able to do a whole lot if A, he can't get close to her, and B, anytime he makes an attempt on her life, Lucy just keeps her distance and throws him around. So, yeah. So with the actual death battle coming up in 3 days, I thought I'd put out this prediction video. When the actual video comes out, I might make a review of it, talking about it more in depth, but I thought I'd do this prediction video. So those are my further thoughts on Lucy versus Carnage. What do you all think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a debate about this. Even though I hate this death battle, I still think we could at least have fun debating it, as the debate has always been my favorite aspect of Death Battle. So tell me what you think in the comments below, and if you love me talking about Death Battle, let me know. I would love to talk more about this if you're interested. So I'll see you guys around next time.